Oh my god, is that 1 carat? Wow, thing is like as long as my thumb. Wow, that's gonna be a monster. Oh, hey there, potatoes. You guys are sticking out a little bit. Here, let's cover you up. There you go. Oh, you too. Here, cover you up just a little bit. Oh man, there's a bunch of you guys sticking out. Here, cover you up a little bit. There we go. It is going to be a scorcher today, guys. This is probably the hottest day we've had so far this year, which is kind of weird because the last 2 years for sure, and more like 4, we've had triple-digit heat in May. And if you've been following us for a while, you know that we have been suffering through that heat during the summer months. Even though we're so far north, we have a south-facing property, and part of that was because we had hoped to stay off-grid, be off-grid, and we wanted lots of sun exposure, and we got it. Anyway, so we're looking at probably 102, 103 today. I'm going to be trying to work inside again today, but I do want to try to shift to the SIPS, and that means we're going to be doing a little bit of stuff outside. In case you're just joining us, this is the garage electrical plan that we've been working on for several days now. And what we're going to be working on today is the SIPS in the front of the house. There's just a lot going on here, and this is kind of a prequel to what's going to happen in the living area of the house. So if you haven't seen the earlier videos, jump back. It'll kind of catch you up to where we are. We installed the wall outlets, the ceiling outlets. We've been pulling wire, and we set conduits here, and some other small projects, like we hot knifed over here and everything to get all the wire runs ready. What I'd like to do is get all this stuff kind of locked in, locked down, and get the home runs landed at the panel, and then jump back to getting these outlets in. I realized yesterday that there's about 7 feet total between these outlets of wire, and in the interest of not wasting wire, I figured I'd wait till the last minute to wire those up in case I end up with just some extra wire laying around from being really generous with some of my home run wiring. If by some chance this is the first video on our channel that you've seen, jump way back to the beginning of the house build. You're going to learn a lot about the materials that we use to build this house. It's a very non-traditional home. We have basically no stick framing in the exterior walls. We will be using sticks on the inside, like our bathroom and the bedrooms and kitchen and everything upstairs. So the panels that our walls are made out of are called structural insulated panels, or SIPs. And they have an electrical chase that's actually hot knifed into the center of the panel. So this is a structural insulated panel, a SIP. And the header above the garage door is not. That's something that we actually built. So we need to get a lot of wire put into this SIP and run to the switch box and the outlet box that'll be down below. If you jump back and watch some of the earlier videos, you'll learn that there's a lot of restrictions to the amount of cable or something that you can put into a chase. And there's also a restriction on the number of conductors that you can put in a box. And all these things have to come together to getting this panel, this one skinny little panel, to do all the things that we need it to do. We're going to have exterior lights on the sides of the garage here, about there, one over the door, a mirrored one here that's similar to the one on the left side, and then one on the right of this garage door. And of course, you can't see the electrical chases on the outside. They're not marked. They are marked on the inside. You can kind of see these black circles that I drew on the SIP to illustrate where we think the lights should go. Obviously, we've got an issue with an intersecting piece of hardware right there, so we'll have to deal with that when we get there. I met with an electrician a few days ago and discussed this part of the project with him because of all the constraints of this tiny little SIP. And in discussing the exterior lighting, he asked, of course, what are you going to put on there for siding? And I told him we want to do masonry, but we may have kind of put that in jeopardy by not pouring an additional footing to bear the weight of real masonry, not faux masonry. Because of that, he suggested that we don't install boxes, or if we do, be kind of conservative on the depth of the box, because when we figure the siding out, that's going to kind of dictate what box will end up being where those lights are. I don't think we really just want to pull a wire through there, because then bugs or whatever could get in there. If nothing, we need to at least put a cover over whatever we put there so that we don't end up with bugs getting into the panels. Anyway, I'd like to put a box in there. Let's kind of look at the boxes and I'll show you what I found. I found a company that has a great electrical guide for their SIPs. And this is not the box, but it's really similar to the boxes that they recommend. It is a metal box, so you'll have to do some grounding in the back. You have to bond the ground to anything metal. But it has these little wings or ears on them. And if you look closely, those ears are reversible. So you could mount this ear to the SIP, which is important. You can screw it right through the face. And it's adjustable. So if you need to move the box in and out, no problem. But if you flip it around, you could actually flush mount this box or even slightly recess it if you needed to. I don't know if there's a code on how far a box has to be from the surface, but I think I heard somewhere that it needs to be less than 1/4 of an inch. So that's why adjustability is important. This is a less ideal option. It's called an old work box, and it has these little wings. And of course, we'd have to chew the foam out of the panel to facilitate the wing. And then as you tighten that screw, this wing both flips open. So this box could go in a hole that big. And as you tighten the screw, the wing flips open, and then it sucks itself tight to the face. We could use this box, but we're gonna see if we can make the metal ones work better. So in this panel, we have 2 3-way switches, garage east, garage west, and the exterior lights. I have something kind of exciting planned for this switch. Then we have an outlet down below, and then we'll actually have a mirrored outlet on the outside, so those two will be connected. And then there's actually a chase running horizontally between this panel, and this panel that we're going to be using to access the places where we're going to put the lights. Back when we were working on the SIPs in the loft, we had to pull a leg of wire through those panels before the roof went on, so that when the roof panels went on, we wouldn't be able to get the wire through there. So we had to pull it there early. And it was kind of our first foray at trying to pull wire through a SIP. Not fun. We were just making it hard on ourselves. So someone had suggested that we use fishing weights and fishing line to basically drop a weight vertically through the chase, pull it out, and then pull string through, and then use the string to pull the wire through. It made a lot of sense to me because we were trying to use a fish tape, but the problem is the fish tape wants to curl as soon as you put it in the panel, and then it digs into the foam and you're basically out of luck. I've seen a few different videos, we've read a few different guides. We'll have to kind of play with different methods and see if we can come up with something that works really well. I think in the end, upstairs, our goal is to try not to move laterally through the panels. Even though there is a chase, we'll probably be using the floor framing to move laterally and then move up and down into the SIP, for example, for outlets or switches. At least that's the plan today. So there's the chase. So now we just need to find that chase right there. Now you guys can see what I mean by there's no margin in here. So that's lumber and that's lumber. There's 3 inches of lumber on either side of this SIP panel. There is literally enough room in here for an electrical box, and that is it. And this chase is gonna be very busy because we've got a lot of wires coming and going. I guess I should probably check the box before I say it will fit. Oh, oof. Oh, she's snug though. Guess we could put that way too. It's pretty cozy in there. But that's gonna be one busy box. All right, we're going with a 2-inch hole. We're gonna try to hit right where these two meet. And we're in. Find out here in a second if we hit that chase or not. Oh, yeah, there it is. So there's something anyway. So we hit it, but man, that's gonna be difficult. Well, I decided to try something and use Mason's line instead of using the fishing string. And I tied every weight that I have on there. It's actually pretty heavy, so let's just see if we can even get this to work or not. It definitely wants to go, but yep, right away, it's trying to catch in the foam. So you can't be inching your way along. You definitely got to have free string. Almost like you need something to like keep it from digging into the foam. Like something like this. There we go. There we go. Yeah, that's good. Well, I'm hitting something down in the chase, so I just grabbed this little piece of plywood and kind of notched it, and I think that'll help to keep the string, oh yeah, in the middle. Oh yeah, then I can pretty much just drop it, but we're hitting something down there, and I don't know what. I don't know how far either. We're about that far down. So really close to that box down there, so something's keeping us from falling in. Let's try adding some vacuum to the equation. Well, I've been messing with this for half an hour and I can't get past about right there. I've tried sucking a bag through there. I've tried pounding the weights as much as I can down there, and nothing's getting through. So something tells me that there's another piece of foam or something in there and that the chases don't line up or something, because there's something really solid about 8 inches above where we need to be that I can't seem to get through. My string keeps getting to about right here and stopping, and I can't get past. And then I tried pushing wire up through there and I can't get through. Unfortunately, I don't have a borescope or something like that to look up in there and see what's going on. Maybe I ought to get one of those for this project in case this happens more than once. Let's try wire one more time and see if we can go past there. We're hitting something. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm definitely stuck right there. So I marked where I'm getting stuck. Let's try shooting the down again and see if it matches. And this shows that I'm getting clear down to there. So it seems to be that there might be two chases, one that I'm going through on my way up and one that I'm going through on my way down, and they don't line up. How annoying is that? Well, I don't know, other than buying a borescope and looking up in there, I guess the only other option that we have is to drill a hole right here. Let's try wire first. Mark it down here. Okay, so wire. I can definitely get there with wire. Wonder if I'm just running into the foam right there and it's creating the illusion, or if I'm really actually hitting something. So there's something right there. Right in there, just above where I've drilled the hole, you can see that that chase is totally plugged. I can't tell what it is, but it's definitely plugged. Kind of has that look like it was spray foamed. Oh yeah, it's definitely spray foam. Wonder what they put spray foam in there for. Maybe to fill a gap between the two foams or something. That's definitely not gonna work. There it is. So that foam right there is not expanded polystyrene, that's actually spray foam. So for some reason there's a huge blob of spray foam right where the two chases meet. Isn't that awesome? Thanks, whoever put that there. Now we should be able to get through there. Holy moly. Alright, from the top as they say. There we go. Well, we made it to this box, but guess what? Apparently we're stuck right here now. Oh, there's another chunk of the spray foam. Unreal. One panel? Are you serious? I haven't even got one panel done. So I'm getting that far. So I'm getting down to about there. So what, is there another blob of spray foam in there or what? Man. Oh, there's definitely something in there. Unreal. That is not a good sign, guys. Wow. That explains why the vacuum's ineffective. Guess what, guys? We get to drill another hole. Can't believe this. This is ridiculous. Unreal. Gonna make Swiss cheddar cheese out of this SIP panel. Maybe by the time we're done drilling holes, there won't be a panel left, and then we won't have to worry about it, right? Ha! No way, there's more spray foam in there. No way. Let's see if we can get down into here now. Still stuck on whatever is down in that flippin' hole. Oh, there we go. Kind of banging our way through some of the crud. Holy mackerel, guys, holy mackerel. That's not encouraging for sure. So we had to drill 3 holes, 2 of which were just to remove spray foam that must have been installed at the manufacturer, just to get a string pulled through. I guess the good news is down at the bottom, we're only pulling 1 wire, so that's not going to be a big deal. But getting into this switch, we've got 4 or 5 wires. I can't remember which. I think 4. And then we'll have 5 up near the top. I'm hoping that we started with the most difficult panel in the whole house, and that this happens 0 more times. So I guess we're ready to pull wire through there. So I need 1 for the outlet, 1 for the switch power for lights, for the exterior lights. I guess for all the lights. I have the 1222 that's going to the north stairs for the three-way switches, and the one coming back up is actually going to go into the light in this panel, and in that panel is where all of the connections are going to happen for the exterior light circuit. Man, it seems improbable that we're going to get all this wire through that little hole right there, but we'll try. I'm gonna one-man that's for sure. Well, I realized pretty quickly that that string's never gonna pull that bundle through that chase. So I hooked a rope to the string and pulled the rope through, which was fun. Anyway, the rope is in there, but I'm gonna need help. I just need somebody at the top and the bottom or whatever. So while I'm waiting for help to arrive, I'm gonna go ahead and start working on the outside. We'll get the boxes drilled out there, and then kind of start wrapping my head around how to pull wire to those boxes. 4 1/8. I don't even know if I have a 4 1/8. 4 1/4. 3 1/2. That's way too small. Yeah, 4 1/2. Always need one more bit. Always need one more saw. One more bit. That's not terrible. I mean, 4 1/8 would be super tidy, but that'll still fit, except for there's not going to be a lot of meat for those wings. How big are these? These are like 3 1/2. Oh yeah, they're way... Oh, actually no. Wings and all, that's actually pretty tight fit. So 4 1/4 should work. So those can go as shallow as 1 inch. And then if we wanted to, we could deepen that hole. So let's shoot for that. Let's shoot for 1 inch. But our chase is clear back here in the middle of the panel, so we may end up coming in the back of that box, not these guys. It's pretty good. And there's our rope. Oh, that's gonna be fun. Gonna be fun. Looks like help has arrived. So we'll jump back to this rat's nest.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, that's out. Alright, let's see if this guy will go down that hole. Totally just hosed the crap out of myself. Taped all that together through the whole freaking chase. So apparently what I get to do is pull that all through there and then cut off or something. Back to that we go. So as each blue tape goes by, except for that right there, that's the end. We just need to slice it and try to remove the tape without cutting the sheath on the wire.
1, 2, 3.
There you go.
1, 2, 3. Wow. You think that's foam?
Yep. Told you it's fun. Slipped off the tape. So we can start over. Gotta pull back out, redo the tape.
We made it.
Yeah, 4,000 cuss words later. There it is. Spray foam in a SIP panel. and then get like mad at the customer, be like, yeah, you guys just don't know how to wire SIP panels. Well, if you don't clog the
chases,
that'd be great. I guess that's on us. We should have just rammed them. Like I've seen companies take a rod.
Oh, right.
And just ram everything, because
we should have added that to the to-do list.
Yeah.
Didn't know.
So now we got to figure out which one of these is the outlet power. Maybe you could tell me when that one moves.
Not too shabby.
That's progress. It may be everything I can get done today to get a switch into this wall. Maybe the worst part of this whole thing is that I'm going off of a text message from the inspector that he's going to approve this because of the amount of current that these lights and things that will draw. Otherwise, we've got too many wires in one chase. There's not such thing as too many wires, but then you start having to derate wire and consider the current going through each one. And man, if we have to tear this apart and do this again, I'm gonna lose it. It's crazy. I can actually feel the air getting sucked in through that hole, which tells you how tight the house is. It's physically. Wow, that's crazy. All right, we got this lead out here. Let's drill that hole, and then we've got to figure out how to get wire from there to there to there. There's our horizontal chase. We got a light right down here. So we've got to make a chase, a vertical chase. There isn't one. We've got to make one from here to there. You see daylight. It worked. It worked. You gotta get wire from here to there and from here to there. Already hitting something. Can't even go 6 inches. Just wow. God, this is just gonna suck. Okay, there we go. Oof, I don't like the sounds of that. It sounds like lumber. Well, I was going to do the same magical thing and suck a string through there, except for it looks like there's no horizontal chase in that panel. So, dang it. Drilled a hole right there expecting to see a horizontal chase, and it looks like we have to get all the way over to there if we're lucky. Actually, you know what? I guess our luck just ran out, because if there's no horizontal chase in this panel, there's probably no hole in that lumber either. Man. Oh, there's a vertical chase in that panel. Problem is, it's right behind the beam. It's right behind the post. So how do we get a wire into that? And then how do we protect that wire? I guess we could drill a hole and hot knife next to it and then bring the wire out of the roof. Huh. I don't know if it's worth hot knifing that panel to find out if there's a hole in the lumber. I mean, we basically drilled holes in the lumber where there were chases. But if there wasn't a chase marked on the panel, which I see that there's not, then there's probably no hole in the adjacent lumber. Well, as if the rest of this stuff hasn't been fun enough, I've been scratching my head here looking at this for a while. And I feel like when we chose to do SIPS, we chose to own all these problems. It's all part of the gig, right? So I feel like the inconvenience of running this wire once in my lifetime is not a big deal. It takes time, you know, it just takes time. So I think I'm gonna do some surgery on this panel junction up here and just see if I can get a wire pulled through there. I don't want a wire on the surface. I don't really want those wires on the surface, but I don't really have a good option there. There just isn't one. But this one, a little bit of patience and some muscle, and we can probably get that wire to be concealed inside the wall panel, and it'll be sucky one time. Well, mission accomplished. We got one there, two here. See, that one goes to that side. This one's from over here. And then we've got two here. There. And then we actually need two more because everything's gonna come off of this one box. That light and that light over there. All right, I think we're at a point where we can start working on the outermost exterior lights. So we'll get those holes drilled. We'll try using the fishing weight thing and see if we can poke a hole from the inside, drop the fishing weight, and then if everything goes good, we'll just pull wire, and then we've got to drop it into that box. Once that's done, then I think it's a matter of just working to get everything kind of tidied up, get this octopus mess secured and get everything nice and organized, and then it's not going to look like the war zone that it did earlier today. To the west, to the east, over the door light, and light power, all in that box. I have had way too much fun today. I have a pounding headache, my finger's pounding, and I'm at a good stopping point. That sucked. So we got all the wire pulled through the SIP. There's wire at every light. We've got wire at the outlet. We did not get the outside outlet done, but I'm okay with that because I don't really want a hole from the outside to the inside yet that we're not gonna fill or plug or whatever. I have a lot of cleanup to do. I am roasting, I'm starving. I'll stop whining. See you guys next time.